Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.
Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
101. I think that's so much of a part of like writing music or writing anything.
Yeah.
You probably do it and you're like, I don't know how I did that.
Yeah. But like even, yeah, like when I'm writing a song, sometimes I'm literally like, where it genuinely feels like sometimes it just comes from thin air. And then I'm like,
Yes.
whoa, I would never be able to do that if I was sat in a different room at that time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it wasn't that exact moment,
Yeah.
that exact same guitar,
Yeah.
if you'd like changed the strings,
Yeah.
if you'd have like not come back as early as you did or stayed
Yeah.
in or whatever.
But that's, I feel like my favorite songs that I've written are the ones that I tend to actually listen for a little while, like as demos, are the ones where I actually don't even know how it happened.
Yeah.
Whereas like other
Yeah.
songs where I've written lyrics for a while and I'm carefully creating it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, nice.
Yeah.
But I knew that it was going to be written.
I think some of the most wonderful things that happen to anyone in their life, you don't expect them to happen.
Yeah.
You don't really know why it happened. There was like some kind of compulsive, intuitive
Yeah.
nature there. And I always think it's funny, and this is a big part of like my interest in interviewing people who make music or write books or are comedians and make something from nothing into something, is like, if you don't know how you did it in the first place, it's really hard to keep
Yeah,
doing
I know.
it. So
it is surprising when you do it again. Like but I find that way, like just as I was saying, like before this, like every time if I'm going to write with someone, I'll be in the shower beforehand going, I can't do this.
How
do I get out of going to this because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it? And then you just do.
What is that feeling? Is it like
Terror.
Terror.
It's like, actually, I get so stressed, and it hasn't gone away. Like I've been writing songs for like, I would say like 10 years, maybe more. But like I only started writing with people in the past like 6 years, and it hasn't gone away. It's been 6 years, and like it's my full-time job, and I still get stressed, but then it goes away. And then I always have that relief about 2 hours into the session where you've got like a verse or you've got an idea for a chorus. And I think I've said this to like anyone who's done a session with me will have heard this. I just go, I love music, because you just get so excited that it's actually working, and there's like a chemistry going on in the room and like a hidden beat or something, and you just get that excitement.
I like the way that it's not a science.
No,
you know, it's not, it doesn't like make sense. It's not something you're taught at school. It's not something that is like, it's not out of a book.
Yeah,
it's
but some people do go about it like it is a science. And I always find those rooms maybe are a little bit harder. It still works, but it's just a little bit harder to wrap my head around, because that's not where my brain is like sitting.
Not to kind of simplify it too much, but when I listen to music, like it either has soul or doesn't.
Yeah, I know, because every song is, technically every song is verse, so you can follow a math to it, but it's just not as...
How have you got into like that kind of thing then? Like, do you try and, because like you say, songs obviously are verses, choruses, bridges, middle eights. What do you do to kind of fight back against that? Like, how do you try and trick yourself?
Well, I'm like, I'll write a song and I'll be like, this is the best chorus of all time. And then I'll send it to people and everyone's like, where's the chorus? You have like a load of really nice verses or whatever. But
it's a deep cut.
Yeah, I think I like to write a lot of deep cuts. Like I'll just write a lot of them and then be like, but that's just my favorite song of mine will be the one with 11 verses. I kind of don't worry too I don't stress too hard about the song that I'm making until maybe I'm trying to figure out its place in a project, or until maybe the pressure is on. But usually I just kind of write a song, and most of the time my favorite songs will be a 1.5-minute voice note, like on my phone, and I'll be like, that, I'm telling you, that is my best song ever. And
whatever that melody is. And you try and record it with good microphones, and
it just never works. But I think for me, like, just asking a friend that also has been doing this and like has been there as well was really important to me, because it feels like such a solo mission that you're on, and actually you're not. Like, there's everyone who has ever written a song has gone through this, I can only imagine. And so for me, that was important, just literally writing the worst songs you've ever heard until all of a sudden it started sounding all right to you.
And is there like an element in that where like you just can't take it too seriously?
Yeah, I think
like,
if I start taking things too seriously, that's when like shit hits the fan.
But then how do you not? Because it's like the thing you care about most.
Yeah, well, it's the greatest, like, it is the biggest question. I think you have to, I think trying to prioritize other things, which is really difficult for me. Like, I find that really stressful. Like, I dropped out of school, moved to London, and this was like the thing. Like, I went full time in a...
How old are you when you left school?
I'm 23 now, but I dropped out of school when I was 18. The year before my A-levels, I came here for the summer to kind of meet people and do whatever. I didn't really meet anyone. I like hung out in Finsbury Park, kind of afraid to do anything. And then
it's hard to meet people.
It's really, well, especially when you're like just turned, like I was freshly 18. I should have been with like a load of people and hanging out with like my peers and stuff, but I was here, and I don't regret it, but it was definitely like it's a massive thing to have done at that time. And then went back to do my A-levels, and I lasted about a month, and then I kind of just said, I've had a taste of something and it's really difficult to go back. But and
that was the taste of music. Yeah,
just a taste of like doing this thing that I knew I was going to do. Like, I didn't see myself going to college anymore, whereas I used to think that was in the cards for me. But so I was taking it so seriously from like quite a young age, and then kind of changed my whole life for it. And then it's hard to take it less seriously then, because you have to give it 110%. But like, I think when other stuff in your life starts to happen, because I've been here for 5 years now, you kind of do have to take those things just as seriously and try to find the balance, which is always going to be the hardest thing. But I think if you can get that balance for even a month, that's a good job done. But
I mean, this is it, 101 part-time jobs. When I started the show, it was about like funny jobs, you know, like bit jobs, part jobs, you know, times you got fired, times you didn't show up for work. And the more I do it, the more I'm like, oh, this is actually like an identity, social, economic conversation about people going, well, I want to do this. My other options are to work a job that I can't even buy a house and do what my parents did with a 30 grand salary. So I might as well try and do what you want to do. And actually that's definitely like a thing that's changed in our lifetime. You know, I'm just a little bit older than you, but like that has changed every few years. You know, young people's opportunities are getting less and less.
Yeah, absolutely.
So kind of doing your project seems to be like the time to try and fucking do it.
I know. Well, yeah, because I think like, exactly as you said, like the opportunities are less and less. So I think if you don't at least, and also I came from like I'm really lucky because my parents never questioned me doing this.
Nice.
So that's like a point of privilege that I know a lot of people don't have, because a lot of people are told, go get the maths degree and then you can become a singer, or then you can become an actor. And I do think that, so my mindset has always been, no matter what, just do it. Even if it means that you are working at a job you hate and trying to do this on the side or whatever it is. But like, to me, like being able to like at least go as full force as I've been able to do for the past like 6 years has been like the biggest like joy ever, even though it's been also the like hardest thing ever to do. But
isn't that funny? You can be in like kind of, and my like philosophy behind all this stuff, similar. Like my mum is a writer, she writes novels. So when me and my brother and sister were doing projects, she was like, yes, fucking do it, and would like drive me to gigs and super supportive. And all you can do in life is like do what you can with what's in front of you.
Totally. Well, like, my mum, like, this is so random, but my mum is also a writer too, but she was a policewoman for like her whole adult life. That was the job she did, but she loved her job, but she didn't want to she wanted to be creative. And so she let me go and be creative from as soon as I could speak, but she waited until she was retired to put out her first book.
Or her kids were grown up.
Exactly. Literally, like she waited all that time before doing the thing that actually is bringing her the most joy of her life. And it's so crazy that is how she had to live her life for me to live mine. But it's like, it's also beautiful, like to see that happen now. But yeah, it's wild.
What kind of stuff does she write?
She wrote a book called Finding Joy, And she's been writing it since I was really young.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like these poems and ramblings, as she calls them, just about her life and being a parent and being a person. And it's, really beautiful.
And your brother, are you chatting with him about, I mean, have you talked about like the philosophy behind it and like kind of where it comes from, that fuel?
We're both quite, I think we're both very ambitious people and very stubborn people, which is like it can be quite stressful. And so, but like when we both kind of decided that we were doing this, because I'd been wanting to do this since I was like a baby. I could sing before I could talk, my mum would say.
Wicked.
And so it's so nice to be able to kind of look at someone else who wants it just as badly as I do.
Yeah.
And we're able to like really help each other and egg each other on and give each other advice, even if we're coming from totally different worlds. It's like, it is really nice. But again, like, my parents are just like that as well. They just were teachers and guards, and that was the difference, even though they're both extremely creative and do all these other things. It's, I don't know, I think we're very lucky in that whatever we wanted to do, we were told, absolutely, why wouldn't you do that?
Do it. My brother is a self-published author after like trying to be a lawyer for ages.
Whoa.
And it's like, we celebrate each other's successes together.
Yeah.
Like we're never alone. And like, it's got to be said, like the different projects, me, my mum, my brother, my sister a bit, like there's varying degrees of like success
totally
of it. And you know, some things you do, sometimes they don't get an audience or whatever it is.
For sure.
And it's good to know that that's kind of part of it.
Of course. And also like really, like even in my family, like exactly that, there's obviously a range of success and but it's really interesting to be able to see that. And also you could be 10 times further along than I am, and still there's problems and there's stresses and there's things that I can't even comprehend. And then you could be at my point and it's the same. It's just like entirely different. It's they're all contradicting, but it is cool to be on similar journeys, even if maybe in two different places. But
and you can come back to at Christmas time and maybe just like try and not think about it for a bit.
Genuinely, it's
and like they'll enjoy that as well.
Yeah,
like your mum, your brother, your other brother, whoever
absolutely,
else.
Like I went through, even at the start of this year, I went through like that internal panic of what is going on, and things can be going well or things can be just going like normal. I had this like at about 2 months where I was really freaking out and no one could bring me back down. I was like, I actually just don't know. And it wasn't like, I don't know, I can't explain it. It was just, I would have this panic and I couldn't really point a finger onto anything. And then I wrote a song that I just really like, it's weird to say this, but a song I really resonated with, like a song I didn't realize I needed to write. And then it was all of a sudden there, I was listening to it and all of a sudden I kind of knew what I was doing again.
Right.
And I think,
isn't that nice that the art form brings you back?
Of course, but I think that's what it should be. It should be that. It should be the creating process, or like playing a gig and realize, like my thing before I was writing, I was singing. That's the first thing I was doing. And like I'll be in a rehearsal room waiting to do a gig, and that will be my favorite day of the entire month, just getting to sing all day. And it's those things that bring me back. And so I think plan wise, it's just continue to try and do that as much as possible. Like write as many songs, play as many gigs. I'd love to go and tour at the end of the year. We'll see who will bring me. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think
you've done stuff with Florence.
Yeah, I did.
And she's a legend.
She's
and
insane.
I've never spoken to her, never met her, but you can tell that she's obviously on her own path.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's got to be somewhat inspiring, right?
Yeah, she's incredible. And also, so like she watched my set, which is crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like you're on stage and you look to your right and Florence Machine is standing there and you're like, whoa, like that's crazy. But she's
powerful
incredibly
person.
Totally,
powerful
but
woman.
like incredibly kind.
Yes.
Like I think that's what I look for when, I don't know, you look for these people that give you inspiration or whatever. And I got to meet one of these inspirations that's been on vision boards, and then she's actually kind and took her time to talk to me and then watch the set and then go out and give like the craziest performance ever. And
that's nice because I imagine when you're surrounded by people, and I've totally done it, like just being in rooms with people I admire, and you kind of have, it's almost like it is like meeting a famous person where you're like, okay, what's the intuitive feeling I have right now? Do I say hi? Do I not say hi?
Yeah.
Do I ask them a question? Do I not ask a question?
Yeah.
What's your philosophy of stuff like that? When you're in a room,
I see someone on the street, or if
when you're in a room,
I'm really bad because everyone will be like, go up and say hello, and I'm like, absolutely not. If the angels want this to happen, they will forge a path for me, but I can't. So when I'm actually meeting someone, or even like when I was to meet Florence before my set or whatever time of day it was. Like I remember someone like, Florence will meet you now, and I was like, okay, and I was walking up and I was like, she doesn't have to though, if she might be wrecked, like she might be like literally trying to talk myself out of doing it, because I don't know, I feel too awkward and Irish and like kind of don't want to be there because I get so stressed. But I don't know, I think I just try and be polite, I guess. I don't know,
you want to take your chances, don't you?
I think that's probably one of my biggest downfalls is like I just won't. I'll be like, I remember before I went on tour with Haim, and I played a few gigs with them 2 summers before, but I had seen them at a party, and I remember everyone was like, just go up and say hello, like, you know, they've got shows coming up, maybe they'll ask you to support if they've met you. And I actually said no, but I'm going to put it in my diary that I'm already doing it. And that was my way of manifesting it. And then sure enough, I did it before actually having to go up and say like hello and do that whole like the awkward dance. But I don't know, I feel like I'm going to have to get better at doing it and shooting my shot a bit more.
Do you know how that happened then, that you got invited?
I think just through like, I don't know, like my agent did a good job of being like, here's Nell. But I don't know, it's those things I'm always between two minds of it. Like I definitely have shot my shot a few times, but it's awkward. It's like dating. It's like, oh my God, I really don't want to send that message, or I don't want to go up to that person. But sometimes it works out for the best.
Do you wait the amount of time? Do you take your chances? Because you've got a recognizable surname. People will be like...
Well, that's also, I think, one of the fears I have of it, because I don't want to be... I love my surname. I love my family. I love my brother. But I also don't want it to be that is the reason. And you can never know what the reason is. And you can always just hope that it's because they like the music or they like your artist project or whatever. And so I think maybe a part of that is sometimes I have my backup of like, I just really want to be seen as this one thing because this is the thing that I am.
Totally. I've got you on the show because I love your music. I found out about you because of your surname.
Totally, which is also like, that's like, I'm not blind to that. That is probably the way a lot of people find it. But the way I see it is like, if whatever way you find anyone, because you could find someone because their song is in an ad or whatever.
Earlier, like I said, like you do what you can with the opportunities in front of you.
Totally. And but like I've always said, if you find me through option A or whatever, and you stick around because you like a lyric in my song, that's like amazing. Thank God. I think the further along I've come in my career, the more I don't think about it, and the more I kind of have the optimism of like, I don't actually think it happens as much as maybe I might think in my head.
Right. Do you get in your head a bit about it?
Sometimes. I think, again, like less and less now, just because probably I feel a bit more confident in who I am, but that's just getting older. I feel more confident in the songs I'm writing. And so most days wake up without imposter syndrome, but some days I do. But I don't know. I think, the longer I've been doing this, the more I kind of just go, I really like the stuff I'm making. And I live with my brother Donica, and his job is totally different to mine. He works in an office and we'll come back from a day of work and we both have the same fears, and we've both had a challenging day, and a lot of the times they align. It's like, oh, I felt like this was going to happen and it didn't. And he has the same thing in his job. And that always brings me like right back down, because we're all just trying to do the thing that we are trying to do, and we're trying to do it as best we can. And we all have dreams, even if they're like totally different. But I do think, I just feel really lucky that, again, and I always say this, I've come back to this like 3 times. I'm just glad that I came from a family that my parents actually said, absolutely. I told them I was going to drop out of school the next day. It was a Sunday evening, and I was like, I'm dropping out of school next week. And they were like, all right. And I could see my dad, I could see the fear, like he had seen a ghost, but there was no other kind of conversation that was had. And I'm lucky at that. And I do feel for the people that maybe have to go that like extra mile to try and make someone believe in them.
I feel that phrase, follow your dreams, like it's not as cheesy now for me as it was.
Definitely
like,
not.
fuck yeah, go on.
And my mum was the type of person, like my whole kitchen is filled with quotes, and I've always been filled with quotes. But she said, right, like follow your dreams, like do the thing that, because I don't know, I think if you don't, you'll just be a little bit worse off in your head. You'll just be a little bit more what if. And I think
you'll be a little bit angry, maybe a bit curmudgeon-y.
Yeah.
My mum's got a lot of quotes in the kitchen as well.
Nice.
And one of them is, a woman is like a tea bag. You'll never know how strong she is until she's in hot water.
Whoa.
Like,
that's a good one.
Go on, mum. Do you remember what are in your mum's?
I can't remember like like a really cringy one, but just there's one in the bathroom that's like no shoulda coulda wouldas, which is like a very classic one, but it's true. And she would always say that to me, like with her finger out like that, and I'd be
No
like,
excuses.
okay, yeah, just get on, do it.
Have you kept in touch with your pals from home?
Yeah, I have a good few friends from home, but it's interesting when you drop out of school, it's almost like you're making a choice because all your friends stay in this, like, they stay together. Like, it's almost like...
That must be hard.
It's really difficult. And I don't know, I think at the time I had issues in school and I had things that didn't feel too good. And when I left them, I was like, okay, well, at least I'm far away from them now. And you kind of have... your thoughts kind of go to this one thing of like, hey, well, that was a negative experience, even if it wasn't totally negative, and then you move on. And it's only been in the last kind of year and a half, 2 years where I've actually thought back to that time, and I realized like me leaving the herd, like me leaving the pack, it's really difficult to be on your own then, and then be like 18 in a new city and all your friends are 10 to 15 years older than you, and just, it can't really relate to you.
Yeah.
And the only thing they can relate on is the music or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it does it puts everything into perspective that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. And so the past 2 years I've kind of been trying to like look back at my like school life and like my old friends with maybe a different lens of just like, do you know what? I'm glad that certain things happened, sad about other things, but we just move on and give each other grace and stuff like that. But
grace is such a thing. Give yourself grace.
I genuinely, I hadn't thought about that. And then last year I just I started to love my life here. And I was like, yeah, it was so lovely. But it takes a little bit of time.
Long time. It took me 10 years. And I grew up in the suburbs. Like my family's from like Watford.
Yeah.
And like it's like half an hour on the train, 20 minutes on the train from Euston. But it's like, it took me 10 years.
Yeah,
it took me till I was 28 to find a place that I like living.
I know. I found a place that I like living in, but I kind of had to look back and give myself some credit for a lot of things that I hadn't done, because I think at the time, because I moved that young and I was so like bullheaded about it and I'm going to do this, I forgot to give myself any sort of empathy or like give myself just a pat on the back to get through. It's also when you live away from home and shit hits the fan at home, and then you're dealing with this thing on your own and you're like, oh God, I have to get through this thing like an adult now. And I suppose I am an adult because I'm 18, but I'm not an adult. Like I'm not, I don't feel ready to be called that yet. And so, yeah, this past year has been a lot of like looking back on things and saying, well done for that, or whatever it is, because it's hard. I
don't know why, I can't explain why, but I saw this book and I thought I'd give it to you as a gift because this is like...
Thank you so much.
That got me through a difficult time.
Okay.
And because it's funny, it's warm.
I like
David
the cover.
Sedaris, really good cover. And it's funny, it's humor writing.
Nice. I'm excited.
And it's stories about himself. I think the thing that is really staggering about it is how unfiltered it is.
Okay.
So he will like reveal his bad parts, you know,
right,
which
I love.
Yeah. He'll be like selfish or like rude or curmudgeon-y or just like downright bad person. Not too bad, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a really good book. I mean, for me, it's been books. Books have got me through the worst times.
Yeah, I was such a reader growing up, and then COVID hit and I stopped reading. Okay. And then in the past 2 years, like anytime I picked up a good book and have read it in 2 days, I'm like, why don't I do this more often? It's the favorite thing. And it does. It's because also I now will reach for my phone, but then your phone doesn't give you any sort of escape. Whereas when you're actually reading a book, you do actually think about what's happening. And so I feel
there are kind of bits that come, but like triggers off synapses or something where it's like, I just wouldn't have like thought about that storyline, or you get ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get ideas.
Yeah, I was just asked about this recently, and so I have a song that the second verse came from a line in a play, and I was, but it came from nowhere because I was like, where did I read that? And then it suddenly was like this huge part.
It must happen all the time in songwriting that people like take lines that subconsciously kind of like dug their way into their mind.
Yeah, just from like, it was literally, the character says caught in a trap. And then I had this whole verse and I was like, whoa, this verse is about this character that I read in a play like 2 years ago, and it's suddenly stuck.
This summer, Say I Do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough. You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
Settles is a great tune. You've been writing songs with, I've forgotten their name, but they've done songs with Big Thief and Adrian Lenker.
Yeah, I recorded an EP with Philip Weinrobe.
Philip Weinrobe.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's his surname?
Weinrobe.
Weinrobe. It's
Yeah.
great that there are these people you don't really hear of, but then they're kind of in the mix, in the picture of these songs that you love.
Yeah, no, he's like a wizard. Getting to work with him, like I've said it a couple of times, but I tried to talk my team out of letting me work with him because I just felt like just blinded by like the fact that I was just such a fan.
Yeah.
But,
and you went over to the States?
I went over to New York. We recorded 6 songs in 3 days, literally phones not allowed in the room.
Okay.
And it was
No
the
Instagram.
most... No, no, I'm so sad. I couldn't record vocals while scrolling TikTok.
Anyway, I'm addicted. Yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. But it was the most incredible experience ever in a studio. Like, everything was completely like no headphones. Even we weren't allowed to listen to anything back. So it was all about like these gut choices.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really, really special.
And now's a really good time for music. There's a lot of good music.
There's a lot of. I was listening to the new Ryan Beatty album the whole way here, and I was just like, wow.
I need to listen to that because I saw you post that on stories.
It's amazing.
Okay, who's the guy?
Ryan Beatty, he's just one of the most, a lot of soul, like just such an amazing singer. His lyrics are so poetic, but so rooted in like actual reality where you're not just listening to, you're listening to like actual heartache or actual, I don't know, love.
It's funny how you can tell that.
Yeah, he's just so amazing.
Like there's like something animalistic about that.
Yeah, and that you should watch the Secret Language music video when you listen to that one song because it's
a good video.
It's so good.
Funny how a good video can
it's so like it's quite simple, but it's just so it's amazing. The visuals are just incredible.
Could I give you one back? And I don't know if they're similar, but maybe just the Ryan thing. Ryan Davis and the Roadhouse Band.
Okay.
And the songs are like 8 minutes long.
Oh, nice.
Proper stories.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that struck me is that he writes in the first person, I think, most of the time. But it's definitely, I think he's writing about a character.
Okay.
And so from a songwriting point of view, it's interesting to write not about yourself.
But Andy Schaaf does that a lot, where he's like writing about like
amazing oboe. That guy made the oboe sound. It is the
Doesn't
oboe.
he have a song that's like literally about stalking someone? It's like he just wrote about these two characters. But
Oh, the whole album, the Neon Light one.
Yeah.
That was about kind of, that was a story. Or that's a night in an
the
album.
Wilds,
isn't it?
that one, the one where he's like talking about this holiday with Judy, and I'm just like, that's amazing.
Who are you? So you're listening to Ryan Beatty. Who else? What other records at the moment are you digging hard?
I think anything that C Rose does. I'm like the big. Do you know C Rose? No. Oh, just I'm not even going to say anything.
Right,
just listen to C Rose. It's just so. I actually can't. Speechless about
SEA.
SEAROWS.
Okay.
Fantastic. Love C Rose. And I always say this, I literally talk about her so much, but my best friend Lucy Blue has an artist project in Lucy Blue, and she's just so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Always need to like give music recommendations. I think now is, I think the most powerful like music PR is texting a friend group.
Literally, have you listened to this? Yeah.
Because I don't think people trust music journalism as much anymore. Like, thankfully with this, I just have on stuff that I like, and I realized like not a lot of people are able to do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why music journalism is just going down. But were you Krang or NME when you were growing up? Would you read magazines?
I would, but also it's really interesting. Like my family, we were a music household, but it was mostly just like whatever my dad would put on or whatever. Or like I grew up on. Well, my dad was into like the Ink Spots, and then my mum was into like James Taylor and Mary Shaping Carpenter. Yeah. So like to me, that was just like the pinnacle of everything growing up. And then it wasn't until
you dance in house.
We are, a little bit. Like my dad definitely on a night out now, like he's bringing out like his dance moves. But
we went to see Alanis Morissette this weekend just gone, and I'm going to show you this video afterwards. It's my mum closing her eyes dancing.
Yeah, so
like that.
fun.
I'm like, I am your son.
Yeah. Yeah. But I grew up on like country and Americana music or musical theater. So that's the kind of stuff I was taking when I was growing up. Like that's what I was like really just so interested in. But
did you have to try and get away from that kind of music theater stage stuff?
You can't take the musical theater out of the girl. Like you just can't. Like I'm just deeply, deeply obsessed.
Really?
But I just love it so much.
Would you do it?
I would love to. I trained for that. Like my, like singing wise, like that was what I thought I was going to do, because I didn't know you could be a singer-songwriter. I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be kind of in musicals, and that was the dream, and still somewhere on the vision board I would love to do that. But
I feel like that's something you kind of like, you're in or you're out. Was it painful to leave that?
It wasn't painful, because I think when you train in something and then all of a sudden, it's like I had two voices. I had my musical theatre voice, and then all of a sudden I started writing songs, and I'd say my singing teacher was fuming because I wasn't singing the way she'd taught me to.
Okay.
Do you know, I was singing in a way that was more Nell, but less, I don't know. But even if you come to one of my shows, I think a lot of people say that I kind of perform almost like I'm in a theatre doing that, because I'm quite dramatic with my facials or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I think, I don't know, I think it's somewhere there in me, but I probably need to go back to singing lessons and do some work.
It's exciting. You got so much ahead of you.
Thanks.
You know, it's I know it never feels like that in the moment.
No, never. But it's, you know, it's like every day is so different. Like I was talking about, like some days, you can feel like you can take on the world. Some days you feel like you can do a walk down to the Sainsbury's pub. Like either way. Yeah, exactly. So
thank you for the time.
Thank you so much for the book.
Oh yeah, let me know how you get on with it, because honestly, that kind of really, there are a couple of books changed my life. Well, so Siddhartha. Have you heard of that?
I haven't read it, but I've heard about it.
And Goldman and Narcissus and Goldman from the same author. That and The Secret History by Donna Tartt.
Okay,
which is a really good fiction, thick.
Yeah.
Kind of really boring in the middle, but then it kind of comes quickly, and then it's brilliant. I got one last question.
Yes.
And I think there's like a good fertile ground of storytelling of like bad experiences inside jobs and kind of, you know, those stressful days where you're doing something you really don't feel comfortable in.
Yes.
I guess it comes down to being uncomfortable or being embarrassed.
Yeah.
I think could be like the funniest, most memorable stories.
I've had a lot of jobs and I've worked in a lot of different cafes, but when I moved to London, I'm going to try and keep this story short and sweet.
You don't have to, but yeah.
But I'm going to take you back to when I was 15 and I had back surgery. I got my spine fused.
Oh, fuck.
So keep that in your head.
What does that mean?
It's my spine. I had a thing called scoliosis, but it's called Sherman's kyphosis. So instead of an S, my spine was like an R. And so I got the surgery, yada, yada, yada. My back sometimes gets really sore or whatever. Okay, cut to a couple of years later, I moved to London. It's winter. I'm walking to my job at a cafe that I won't name, but I should. And I slip on ice and I land on my back. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I might have to go to hospital or whatever. I go into work and I'm a little bit late. I'm 10 minutes late because I had to run back upstairs, get changed because I was soaking. I slipped on ice. Come back in. I get rinsed. I get in so much trouble. I was like, this is crazy. And then
you tell them though.
I told them everything, but whatever, someone was having a bad day. And they were kind of like thinking that I was just moaning and maybe I was really young and like just missed home or whatever. And I was like, do you know what? This is crazy because I've had a part-time job since I was like 14. Like I've always worked. I've always had something that I did or even babysitting or whatever. I've always
feel like you need to do it.
Or I just felt like that wasn't great. Like just go and do whatever. And I remember that anyway, I decided I was going to quit because I felt like I was being treated really poorly. And I went to the doctors, got my 2 weeks notice, gave my 2 weeks notice, and I was like, can't work for the 2 weeks notice. And then my parting gift was they were selling piccalilli. Is that what it is? In a jar?
Yeah, love it.
And I was supposed to write piccalilli on the thing and I spelt it all wrong. Every single one. And I walked out and I was like, you can sell the piccalilli, but someone else is going to have to rewrite it. It's my pettiest moment. I think there was supposed to be double L's and I did like 4 L's in loads of different places. And I just said, thank you so much.
Someone out there had bought that jar.
So someone out there has that jar in their house. And someone out there is my former boss. Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment. But
no, good. No,
but I'm glad you did it. I stuck up for myself. I will say I did that. I tend to.
And also people, I mean, I've had some horrible bosses and I've always been too chicken shit to say anything. So it's good when other people do it.
Yeah. But I've had some amazing bosses too. Like I still go back in where I'm from. I worked in a hotel cafe called Shoda, shout out Shoda. And I worked there for like the end of my kind of schooling. And it's just, I still go back and I still talk to everyone. Like they're just like the sweetest people ever. And I miss that job sometimes. Do you know, I get that guy, I'm like, oh, I miss doing that. But
some people I mean, there are obviously lots of people with horrible jobs. There are lots of people with nice jobs where they're like the people they work with. It's all about the people you work with.
Yeah, exactly. I worked with like all my friends. Like we just kept asking another friend to join and being like,
that's the vibe.
How can we do this? And so, yeah.
Nell, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much
Appreciate
for having
the chat.
me. Thank you.
So that was Nell Mescal here on 101. Her new single Settled is out now. Go ahead and listen to that. Catch her live when you can. Yeah, nice one. Cheers for being here. Recent episodes on 101 include Emma Doran, Stuart Lee, Mary Wallopers, and coming up, we got bands like The Tubs, Power Plant, and plenty more stuff that you may have heard of and some stuff that you haven't heard of that I want to introduce you to. So if you want to get those when they come out, click subscribe. Cheers.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.